Actor Blayne Weaver joins us. Bossier City guy.
That's right. That's right.
Bossier
Parkway
City.
grad.
Seriously?
That's right.
Somebody told me that. Now, were you born here? How did all that work?
I was born and raised here. Unlike Jordan Leto, is that it?
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
Yeah,
I can't believe I just said
that Oscar guy.
Well, I don't even know his name. Like, he's so unimportant.
I was going to ask, are y'all buds? Y'all hang out?
What's funny is I became the
anymore.
second most famous person from Bossier after the Oscars.
How cool was that to see him say Bossier
It was
City?
very cool that he claimed us and everything.
So you were born and raised here?
I grew up here. And,
tell us about, like, elementary schools? Which ones?
I went to Sun City,
Yeah.
and then I went to Elm Grove and Curtis and Parkway High.
Oh, wow.
I can take all the tests. I know where Uri Drive is. I know everything.
You're from the old Parkway High, though, right?
That's right, the old Parkway.
So you graduated Parkway.
Yep.
Then what?
I'd done a couple of TV movies casted out of Dallas. And so right after high school...
Wait, pardon me, backing up. How did you get into that? How did a kid
You
at
want the whole
Parkway?
story. All right, I'm not going to... All right.
It's a talk show, dude. We got no songs.
I was born in Shreveport Hospital. No.
C-section? No, I'm just kidding.
I started... That's a little too much information.
She wants to see your scar.
Yeah.
I started doing theater at 5 with the Peter Pan Players, which was a local children's theater here for
5.
years.
Yes.
5 years old. 3 shows a year till I was about 15. About 15, I started auditioning for things out of Dallas. My mom would drive me out there, and I'd audition for stuff. And I booked a couple of things. I booked a NBC movie of the week, and I booked a cowboy movie with Matt Damon and Tommy Lee Jones. It was
Seriously?
on TNT back in the day. Yeah. So when I finished high school, I moved to New York for a brief stint for about 6 months, and then I had a job that took me to L.A., and I've been to L.A. ever since, and I just moved back to New York.
You were on a few episodes of ER, right?
Yes,
That was
yes.
a hot show.
Do we have? Just wait a second. Tell us about that. But then, you've got the little George Clooney story too.
I got a good George Clooney story.
Listen to this.
You wanna hear my George
Listen to
Clooney
this.
story?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so I did an episode of ER, and I had to kiss a girl in the episode, and
Poor baby.
I know. So right before we do this scene, and by the way, I'm doing this scene with George Clooney, and that's as if that's not intimidating enough. I have to have my first on-screen kiss, and he's like, have you done this before? And I'm like, well, I've kissed a girl. I know what I'm doing. And he's like, have you done it on TV? And I'm like, no. And so he's like, well, let me give you some tips. So he kind of told me like where to grab her waist and to put her face towards camera because everybody wants to see the pretty girl, nobody wants to see me.
Yeah.
And kind of the choreography of it.
You got kissing tips?
I got kissing tips, and then we did the scene, and I kissed the girl, and then Clooney gets his close up where he's kind of giving the smirk, the smirk, and then they call cut, and I got a thumbs up from Clooney on my kissing technique.
You're kissing.
And so I still do the technique to this day, whether I'm on screen or not, just for the record.
Out on
In case
dates.
there's a hidden camera.
It's
Look.
the Clooney kiss.
It's the Clooney technique.
It's 21st century, man. Anything can end up on YouTube.
Have you seen George Clooney naked?
No, we don't really have that kind of relationship.
Where did that come out of?
I'm sorry, that just dropped it.
Bossier. It was sort of self-serving, don't you think?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, sorry.
Actor Blayne Weaver, Bossier City guy, is joining us in studio this morning. Lots to talk about, including your new movie, the indie movie called Favor. And I told Blayne when he came in, what an intense trailer.
Intense is exactly what the movie is. Suspense, thriller, based on the old adage that a friend helps you move, but a really good friend helps you move a body.
I saw that line. It says, a good friend helps you move. No, a friend helps you move. A good friend helps you move a body. So you're the guy who accidentally, or he's with a woman who...
I accidentally kill the woman that I'm having an affair with. And I don't want anyone to know about this, of course, and I go to my childhood best friend, who I haven't really seen in quite a while. We've taken different paths in life, and I go and ask him to help me get rid of this body, and he does, and then things derail into suspense thriller from there.
Wow.
As if that's not suspenseful
And
enough.
the movie opens when?
It actually just got released day before yesterday on video on demand, iTunes, PlayStation, YouTube.
It was what was it, Angela? On iTunes, it's number 8 or 9. It's in the top 10 already.
It's number 1 in horror right now. Like,
Wow.
is that crazy or what? And it's like number 8 in all indie films. I didn't look at it this morning, but it's been climbing. Like, it literally just came out day before yesterday, and it has spiked. So it's in 100 million homes right now.
Wow.
Like, anybody can access it, which is so cool, like being in the independent film world, to see, like, 3 years ago, my mom didn't know how to download something on iTunes, and now she's the first one to get it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
cool.
like the entire world has kind of embraced this digital streaming thing, and I think it's great.
I thought at first it was like CB radios, thought it was a passing
Right.
fad.
Is your mom still here?
Yeah, she's here. She offered to come with me this morning, and I'm like, I can't imagine why you would want to drive out at 7:30 in the morning. But
I'm that kind of mom too. I would have been there. Yeah.
This morning, she just gave me directions.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got a future phone. Thanks, Mom.
Actor Blayne Weaver, Bossier City guy, Parkway grad, and star of the new indie film hit Favor. Actor, writer, and voiceover artist. Because I want to talk about your Disney movie in a couple of seconds.
Wait, let me read you what it says he does on Twitter. You ready?
I'm not through with the official introduction.
No, this has got all his jobs.
Go ahead.
Blayne Weaver, director, writer, actor, secret agent.
And hardly self-important.
Yeah, hardly self-important.
That makes him seem sexy.
I'm humbled as the day is long.
Like he's not sexy.
Okay, your new movie, let's talk a couple of more minutes about that. The new indie movie, Favor. What a hit this is turning into. It not a cult hit, just an outright smash.
Yeah, it's doing great. I mean, we did a extensive festival run, so we played about 11 festivals, I feel like, and we won a bunch of awards, and I traveled all over the country with it, so the director, and now it's everywhere on iTunes, video on demand. You know, everybody can access this.
So if anybody is just joining us, they didn't hear any of the first segment, give us a synopsis once again of Favor, because to repeat myself, I looked at the trailer last night, and it looks crazy.
Yeah.
What a crazy, intense. I thought at first, seriously, when I saw sort of the synopsis, just the first couple of sentences, I thought, black comedy. Mm-hmm. There's not much comedic about this.
There's not. I think the only comedy comes from the truth of the friendship between the two guys. I mean, you know, just to recap, it's about two friends. A friend helps you move. A good friend helps you move a body.
Wow.
And my character goes and asks his friend to help him get rid of a body. And these two people are completely different. Me and the actor Patrick Day plays Marvin, and my character's name is Kip.
He's almost a Louis C.K. looking guy.
Yeah, well, in this he is. He transformed for this. Gained 20 pounds, grew the beard out, like he's a down on his luck character. I'm a sharp ad campaign kind of guy, fast talking, very different two guys. And the whole movie is the two of us, really. I mean, there's a great supporting cast, but it was just an amazing odd couple kind of experience of working with this guy for the entirety of the movie, this huge, twisty, turny film that it's just great. But the only comedy I think really comes from the truth of how different we are and our friendship. You know what I mean?
Erin asked a great question off the air a second or two ago. What brings you to Shreveport-Bossier? What brings you home in this instance?
I'm here for Art Break. Art Break brought me down to teach a workshop to high school students about film production and about acting, or acting for film, I guess would be really what it was about. But it was great. We did it yesterday and, taught a 6-hour course to high school students and talked about movies and acting, and it was awesome.
Wow, the high school kids.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So they're really interested. Some of them are really interested in getting in it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, nobody fell asleep during the workshop, which I took as a personal, comment on my great teaching skills.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. But it was fun.
I have to say, I've looked at a bunch of your bio pages and picture pages. You have this unique quality that you don't find in many people, that you can clean up and look real bankery, like a banker.
Bankery.
You can clean up and look like a doctor or lawyer, but then you can...
Thug? Is that the word you're looking for?
Yeah.
I'm a chameleon.
Is that a learned skill?
You know what? I think I love being an actor. I love being able to do different things, and I like making movies for that. Like I can direct and I write, and people are like, "Well, what kind of movies do you like?" And I like all of them. I like
working.
Yeah, I like working. And sometimes that's about being unshaven and redneck in a movie called Deep Dark Canyon that I did last year, and or sometimes it's about being slick and bankery, as you say, in Favor.
Why New York and not L.A.?
I've lived in L.A. forever. Like since I was 19 years old, I've lived in L.A. I went to UCLA. I got all of my start and made all my movies in L.A. And just 6 months ago, I moved to New York because New York's just better. Sorry.
Let me do a reset for everybody. Actor Blayne Weaver, Bossier City born and bred and graduated Parkway High and actor and writer and director, and the list goes on, including the new hit indie movie Favor. I was looking at your resume, and what intrigued me, one of the things that intrigued me looking at your IMDb last night, was that you were in the Disney movie Return. You were the voice of Peter Pan.
Yeah.
In Return to Neverland.
How cool is that,
Now,
right?
given my job, given this job, I've always been fascinated by voiceover and animated stuff. How did that come about, and how much fun must that have been?
Well, it was incredibly lucky. You know, it's one of, like, that movie really changed my life. Like, I went into my agent's office one day in Los Angeles and was like, I'm not going out for any good parts. Like, I'm not auditioning for anything. And she looked around at her desk.
Had that ever even entered your mind?
I wasn't voiceover at all. And she literally just, in order to shut me up, sent me down the hall to audition for Return to Neverland.
Right.
And I booked it. And when I booked it, they didn't know who I was. The voiceover department had to call my agent and be like, do you have some guy named... Anyways, it's been one of the greatest jobs that continues going.
We use a video game, too.
Yeah, video games. My voice is is on the cruise line, and there's a Disneyland. Every time there's a Peter Pan job, it's me, and it's
Ain't nothing
the
like
coolest
residuals,
job.
is there?
Oh my goodness,
Let me
it's
ask
great.
you, we chatted a couple weeks ago with Ariel Meredith, who's a supermodel, who's from here,
Right.
a Sports Illustrated model, and she says when she comes home, her first stop is for crawfish. When you come home, obviously you see family and all that, but
Yeah.
what is
We
on your
usually
list?
stop on the way from the airport at Superior Bar and Grill for the Mexican food and chips and salsa, which I really like.
She stopped for crawfish on the way from the airport. Yeah, it's a big thing around here.
There it is.
What you love, you got to get.
One more question before we let you run, and thank you again for joining us, actor Blayne Weaver.
Pleasure.
What's next? What's the plan?
That's a good question. I'm really stoked to have this movie out there, and like the reception it's getting is amazing. 150 million homes. Anybody can get it. iTunes Video on Demand. So next, I think I'm directing a movie this summer that the director of this movie, Paul Osborne, and I wrote together. So that'll be like a crime thriller kind of thing that I'm really excited about. And then I have another micro-budget movie that I want to do here in Louisiana.
Any chance? We've got a lot of movies being made here.
I know.
Any chance of making something here?
You know, my last thing I directed was a movie called 6 Month Rule, also available on iTunes and Video on Demand. We shot here in Shreveport, and that was one of the coolest experiences ever, was being here for 6 weeks and like making a movie. And
Did you give your mom a part in the movie?
My mom's been in every movie I've directed. She doesn't have a speaking role, but she's usually in the background, and you can find her really easy. In Weather Girl, she got shushed by Mark Harmon because she was eating her salad when she was supposed to be miming eating her salad.
Well, she sounds like somebody I know.
Actor
She'll
Blayne
love that
Weaver,
story.
Bossier City guy, Parkway grad, and star of the new indie film hit Favor. Congratulations on everything, continued success, and
So
thank you
cool
so
to
much for...
meet you.
Hey, pleasure's mine, you guys.
I know. Great stuff this morning with you. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.